Varya rang the doorbell and began to wait patiently. The door opened and a stately lady in a classic dark dress appeared before her. Varya was even a little confused. It seemed to her that the clairvoyant should look a little different. Hello? And I'm here to see Madame Cassandra. Do you have an appointment? Yes, Varyara said hastily. I'm Ekaterina. The woman looked into a thick notebook. Yes, there is Ekaterina. Come in, she invited the girl. Varya sighed deeply. She really didn't like all this. But there was nothing to be done. Madame Cassandra's assistant led her down a dark corridor, and then she opened one of the doors. Madam, you have a visitor. Varya entered a dark room which was lit only by candles. The girl smiled to herself. The ambience was, of course, top-notch. Heavy velvet curtains, massive candles. Varya noticed a large glass ball on the table, and the room smelled of something sweet. The heavy aroma confused her thoughts and made her sleepy. Sit down, a commanding voice rang out. Why did you come to me? And you don't know yourself? Varya blurted out. The clairvoyant rolled her eyes in irritation. I see everything that worries you, but you have so many problems that we simply won't fit into one session. Choose what's most important to you now. Varya drawled. You know, my husband and I argue all the time. We argue a lot. It just won't end. We haven't been able to choose wallpaper for our bedroom for 4 months now. He doesn't want to give in to me, and I don't want to give in to him. And our bedroom has been standing there without renovation for 4 months. You have no idea what a mess our apartment is in. Varya threw up her hands in despair. I understand how it sounds. The clairvoyant looked at Varvara attentively. Varya bravely held her gaze. What is your name? And what is your husband's name? I'm Katya, she remembered the name she gave when she signed up with the clairvoyant. And my husband is Kolya. Okay. The clairvoyant shook her hands. The woman's thin wrists were hung with bracelets and a ring glittered on each finger. Let's take a look. Madame Cassandra lit the candles and peered into the transparent ball for a long time. Varya was already bored, but it was too early to leave. First, she needed to listen to specific predictions. Your name doesn't suit you at all, Madame Cassandra suddenly spoke, as if you changed it, or your parents at the last moment. You must have some simple name, Russian, maybe Nastenka or Zlata Aliena. Another name suits me. Did you change your name? Varya shuddered in fear, but then shook her head. Did you bring a photo of your husband? Varya looked at the clairvoyant in confusion. What a fool she was. How could she not have prepared? She should have found a photo of some unknown man on the internet. No, I didn't bring one. Varya hoped that she looked guilty. I didn't think so. Get out your phone. Madame Cassandra was not at all embarrassed. I see you have photos of your husband there, and quite a few. Varya froze in surprise. How could she know? But she immediately pulled herself together. What girl wouldn't have photos of her beloved man on her phone? You don't need to be a psychic to understand that. Varya didn't want to show the photo of her husband to this strange woman at all. At the same time, she reassured herself that nothing would happen. Find a photo of you together, Madame Cassandra ordered in the meantime. That way, I can better feel the energy between you. Varya sighed. She found a photo taken literally a week ago and put the phone in front of the clairvoyant. Excellent. Now it's easier for me to see, the woman nodded, moving her hands over the phone. I need time to gather information. Madame Cassandra was silent for a few minutes, and then she finally spoke. Yes, I see things haven't been going well with your husband lately. You argue often, and before that you lived well, friendly, but you're not arguing because there are problems in the family. As if something from outside has invaded your family. She moved her hands over the phone again. A relative, the woman continued. A young relative. He arrived recently. You didn't communicate much before. Not your relative. She shook her head. My husband's relatives. Varya looked at her interlocutor in surprise. Okay, it was easy to guess about the photo on the phone, but how did she find out about Kolya's nephew? The young man arrived a couple of weeks ago. Nikolai had not spoken to his brother for a long time, and he had never seen his nephew either. When The 20-year-old young man showed up at their apartment on Sunday morning. Both Varya and her husband were very surprised, and nevertheless, Nikolai suddenly decided that he wanted to help his nephew. He gave him a significant amount of money so that he could rent a place for himself. And now Kirill regularly visited them. Varya was not against her husband helping a relative. She was rather irritated by the way Kirill accepted his uncle's help. It seemed that the young man did not feel a drop of gratitude. On the contrary, he demanded more and more. And you shouldn't have told me about the renovation, Cassandra continued in the meantime. Yes, you're arguing about the renovation only because no one wants to take responsibility. You've torn the whole room apart and you don't know what to do with it. You need to talk, and everything will be fine, just heart to heart. No magic is needed here. Varya sat with her mouth open. This was not what she expected from a session with a psychic. On the other hand, the main thing was that she had done it. She could think about the rest later. Thank you, Varya nodded, getting up. I'll go then. Wait a minute, the woman stopped her. I haven't told you everything yet.